Alright, so today I'm back with yet another chapter review, and today we will go over chapter 272, which is going to be something really special as we will see Rin, Isagi, and Kaiser going all in against each other. Not to mention that both Charles and Ness will make an appearance after being gone for a while, and then we are ending it by finding out the next piece towards the next goal, which is going to be absolutely insane, so I can definitely guarantee that it's worth sticking around. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking, and let's get right into the chapter. However, before that, please double check that you are subscribed to the channel, as there's 83% of people who watch my video who haven't subscribed yet. So if you could fix that by going down and subscribing to the channel, that would be awesome. And while you're already down there, you can always leave a like and a comment. And with that out of the way, let's finally get into it. Alright, so to start off chapter 272, we don't have any recap text, or I just can't find it. So I guess that we will just be jumping in right away. We start with a panel with a bunch of sports players, and the text says that when humans concentrate, they unconsciously open their mouths or stick out their tongues. It's often seen in childhood, but it's also said that top athletes do this in sports to release themselves from excessive tension and relax their bodies, which is exactly what Rin is doing. After that, we see Loki, who looks at Rin and says that, "Still, you're sticking your tongue out too much and calling Itoshi Rin quite wild." We also see Noah, who says that this is the true nature of Blue Lock's number 1. After that, we see Isagi on the floor, while Rin and Kaiser are beginning their matchup against each other. Their faces are filled with determination, as well as a ton of bloodlust. Rin tries to trick Kaiser away by doing some feints with the ball, but Kaiser instead tries to take his hand on Rin's shoulder. Still, it doesn't take long before Rin completely slaps Kaiser's hand, and that just looks incredible. Isagi finally realizes that he can't be chilling on the ground and gets up and compliments Kaiser's stalling before calling him a clown. Kaiser is looking furious as he tells Isagi not to interfere. He says that it's a duel between him and this fucking tongue, which was actually pretty funny. But Isagi just says that he doesn't care and that he will crush Rin. We get a close-up of Rin's eyes as he says that he now understands the psychology that leads him to the flow state. He says that it's the desire to bring out the best in his enemies and destroy them. He calls it an impulse that comes from his deep-seated desire to risk his life to destroy an amazing person. This means that Rin's flow is extremely similar to Sei's, but compared to Sei, who wants to destroy players beautifully, Rin wants to shame and embarrass them by bringing out their best. He also thinks back to the U20 game, and says that he was able to raise his performance to such a level in the U20 match because he threw everything at the strongest existence, which of course was Itoshi Sai at that moment. But now, in the Neo-Egoist League, before him is the guy he wants to kill, which is of course Isagi, as well as a nuisance who's standing in his way, which is Kaiser. Rin takes a step on the ground and says that the conditions are set. With his rage and dark aura, which we haven't seen in a while, decides to peek out as Rin rushes towards the two of them and says that all that's left for him is to have the courage to burn to death in this moment. He says that as we get closer to his eye, which is getting swollen by the darkness, as Rin is rushing towards them, Kaiser looks intensely at him and says that he's not going to fall for it. While Isagi charges in without even thinking twice about it, Rin notices this and is surprised by the fact that Kaiser decided not to charge him, saying that he wanted to destroy them both all at once. Kaiser is standing back and is actually looking really cool as he tells Rin that he will get bit by Isagi as well as the stray dogs. Now you might wonder who the stray dog that Kaiser was talking about is, and it's none other than Ness, who's looking super weird as he's coming closer to Rin. He looks furious based on his facial expression, and he asks them to let him join in with a raspy voice. In the middle of it, Ness actually manages to grab the ball away from Rin when he isn't concentrating on it, which really annoys him. Ness shoots away the ball, and Rin is just left thinking that he needs to get in a thicker fight to get the calm emperor to fall for it. Ness, right off the bat, looks over towards Kaiser after clearing out the ball and asks him how it was with a desperate tone. On the other hand, Kaiser just looks annoyed as he's running past him while saying that he doesn't care at all and that he isn't Ness's master anymore, which comes as a shock to Ness. After that, we get a close-up of Rin's eyes while he's saying that it's still too lukewarm. The ball is soaring through the sky and Karasu screams that it's a second ball and that they need to be the ones to grab it. They actually manage to do that as Charles cuts in between both Reichi and Kiora and steals the ball from them. His aura has finally decided to come back, as he knows that he can finally show off again while saying a skull emoji because you know he's just Charles. After that, we see Shidu, who's still getting manhandled by Kunigami. Anyway, he screams at Charles to pass towards him. While this is going on, however, we get into Kaiser's thoughts as he says that he now understands that Itoshi Rin's talent is definitely the most outstanding in Blue Lock in terms of an individual's skill level. While Isagi has continued to adapt and evolve to defeat this guy, as he says that, we see this incredible panel with Isagi placing his arm on Rin's chest while rushing ahead of him. He's even got some sort of steam around him. Now back to Kaiser, who thinks that if that's the case, then the center of the Blue Lock is the relationship between these two rivals. Charles is getting ready to throw away his pass as he says his final skull emoji, while Raichi is right beside him and is unable to do anything. Kaiser says that Isagi and Rin stealing the seats of the main characters created by them is his own impossible challenge. As we see now, as he blocks away Charles's pass with his own head, Charles can't believe his eyes and calls him annoying, while Kaiser tells him to get lost and calls him a side character. Charles isn't the only one who's annoyed, as Rin wasn't a fan of Kaiser's move either, but Isagi, on the other hand, says that he finally got it, the current state of the field. As he's got pieces flying around him in all directions, he says that the quality of Rin's movements has improved, and now only he can keep up with him. If that's the case, then Kaiser, who is less vigilant, will be able to move more easily, but when Kaiser attacks alone, Isagi just needs to attract attention like he did before. The ball falls down to Nanase, who has Corona right behind him, but none of them are important right now as we are still in Isagi's thoughts, and he says that if it stands out, Rin will again try to target his movements from behind, creating an infinite cycle, explaining that the power balance is so finely matched that when someone stands out, someone else crushes them, saying that he, Rin, and Kaiser are currently crushing each other like rock, paper, scissors, which means that with just one mistake, one spark of inspiration, and any of the three of them could score a goal. His pieces are starting to grow back into place as he says that he knows he sees it, and that the key to the next goal is a fourth piece that aims for the main characters other than the three of them, whether it is someone who will create a fatal crack in the field or force in a new set of values. As we see a single piece of Isagi's puzzle, we hear him say that he can't afford to lose that moment, and then we see a three-way panel of Isagi, Kaiser, and Rin. Isagi says that he will win with his own goal, Kaiser says that with his own goal, he will take it, and Rin says that with his own goal, he will kill them, and all of them are looking extremely determined to be the ones to grab the next goal. The text at the bottom says, "A fierce battle to the top, there is only one throne to seek." Alright, now to talk about this chapter, it was nice to see Loki and Noah, even if it was just for a brief second. It feels like they haven't been present in this match at all. It might be because they haven't joined in yet, or just the fact that this match has been going on for a while now. But anyway, it was nice to see them. Now we have to talk about Rin's and Kaiser's brief duel against each other, and how cool it was. It reminded me so much of Sei's and Rin's incredible showdown in the U20 game, and it was nice to just see something similar. I have to talk about Ness. He seems so lost right now, and I honestly have no idea what his next step will be. Even after Kaiser has made it very clear that he doesn't want Ness anymore, Ness still tries to appeal to Kaiser and make him proud, which is a sweet thing in itself, but I think it's time to go on. I also enjoyed seeing Charles for a quick moment, as he's been kind of bored with this game for a while, but it looked like his excitement was slowly coming back again. Just look at his aura and smile. You can't tell me that he isn't excited. I also liked seeing Kaiser defend with his head in the end because I feel like it shows some kind of growth in his character. I could never imagine that the same Kaiser from the FC Barcelona game would jump in front of the ball to save it. Now the last topic I want to discuss is this panel where Isagi said that a fourth piece was bound to come into play soon. Now there are a lot of different characters you could speculate the fourth piece to be, but I have some candidates in mind. Firstly, I think it could be Charles. Loki has been hinting so much that Charles will undergo another evolution soon, and it just has to be linked to the second PXG goal, because when will he else get a chance to show it off? Secondly, I think that Zantetsu might be involved due to his simply being on the cover of the newest Blue Lock cover art for the physical manga, which I think has to mean something. On top of that, I don't think that Bastard Munchen will be the next one to score a goal. But anyway, that's just what I think, and I would love to hear about who you think the fourth piece could be, so please leave it in the comments down below. And if you like Blue Lock and videos like this, then I would highly suggest you subscribe to this channel, and while you are at it, leave a comment and a like, as it helps out with the algorithm a ton. And if you are curious to see another video of mine, then please watch the video that will be popping up on the screen now. Anyway, thanks for watching, and have a great day. Bye.